What's up everybody? Sean here again, and today I'm going to give you my 5 top reasons to rent over owning a home. Coming up. All right, so again, if you're in the market right now and trying to decide between renting and taking out a mortgage, consider these 5 advantages and see if they resonate with you. If they do, maybe you're a renter and should stick to renting as that makes you more comfortable. All right, so advantage number 1 of renting, and this is a big one, no major maintenance to pay for. Any major maintenance to the house like roof shingles or like replacing a furnace or a water heater, all of that will be done by the landlord, typically. You might be responsible for like the little stuff, like mowing the lawn, but probably the biggest advantage is like you're carefree. You know that if any major maintenance comes up, it's gonna be the landlord's problem to deal with. Advantage number 2, it's easy to pack up and move. If you move around a lot for work or you wanna test it out, maybe like you're testing out a condo in a building, you're not sure if you're gonna like it, or for whatever reason that you think, this may not be a long-term thing, you're just not sure yet, definitely go with renting. It's really easy to sign, say, a 6-month or 1-year lease. It sounds long, but it's really a short period of time. And if you don't like the place or you find out something after living there that you just can't live with, no big deal. You can always move out at the end of your lease. Say you're not liking the landlord, you live in a condo building, you could probably find something in that building that's a similar amount of rent per month, and it's easy to switch. Advantage number 3 is in the short term, it's actually cheaper to rent, all else being equal, than to get a mortgage. If you move around a lot, or if you stay in a place for short term and you're constantly taking out a mortgage, that means you're gonna have to buy and sell the house. Every time you sell the house, you're gonna have to pay a realtor fees, you're gonna have closing costs, you're gonna be paying a lawyer, and most likely you're not going to be making that back in like a year or 2 of buying the house in the first place. So when you add all of those expenses up and your closing costs and all of that, it's way cheaper to just rent, all else being equal. Think about that if you're if you're moving around a lot and you're thinking short term, renting typically under 5 years is probably the way to go. Advantage number 4 of renting, your money is not tied up in a piece of real estate. That huge down payment you would have to put down on a property, you can take that down payment and invest it. I'm not saying you should take that money and just throw it into the stock market, obviously put some thought into it, but what I'm saying is you have some money to play with and it's liquid and you have access to it versus when you put it down on your house, on your mortgage, it's in your house. To get at it, you'd have to probably renegotiate your mortgage or something to get at that equity again. Whereas if you never put it in the house in the first place, it's probably there for you to play with. And the last advantage, reason number 5, is most likely your monthly rent for the equivalent, let's say condo or home, is going to be a little bit cheaper than taking a mortgage out for it. Typically, that the landlord or the owner of that property has paid down some of that house or a condo. And so for them to break even, it's going to be a little bit less than if you were to take out that mortgage right from the start. And I found this where I'm living here in Calgary. Mortgages end up being about the same as renting, sometimes a little bit more. So typically the trend is that the rent is a little bit cheaper than owning. And you always hear like people say, oh, you're throwing your money away, you may as well just buy the place for a little bit more. Well, that little bit more is that little bit that you can save every month by not having a mortgage payment. So that's it, everybody. Those are my top 5 reasons. Full disclosure, I don't rent this place. I bought this house, but definitely had to think about what I was doing before I picked which direction to go. So I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, hit the like button, subscribe, because I'm going to try to make more videos about personal finance and things for people kind of like in their 20s and a little bit older who are kind of just figuring this stuff out. I feel like there's a lot of mystery around these things out there, and buying a home in general can be really confusing. So I'm going to walk you through all the steps that I did to do that and that'll all be on my channel. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and roll the outro.